Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're heading to India, specifically to a really fascinating city, Chandigarh.
Yeah, we're digging into some great material from City Chronicles, the travel podcast. They did a whole feature on it.
And Chandigarh is special, isn't it? It's not just any city.
Not at all. It's actually India's first planned city built after independence. And the design, well, that came from the famous Swiss-French architect, Le Corbusier.
Right. So that's our mission for you today, to really get under the skin of Chandigarh. What makes people call it modern, green, so well organized, especially compared to maybe the more chaotic image some folks have of big Indian cities.
So let's start with the basics. The layout. City Chronicles spent some time on this. The sector system.
Ah, yes, the sectors. It sounds very methodical.
It is. They're all numbered, and the idea was, well, that each one would be pretty much self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient how? Like, what does that mean in practice?
It means having its own local market, schools nearby, maybe a park, even medical centers, all packed into that sector.
Okay, so you wouldn't necessarily have to travel far for daily stuff.
Exactly. The aim, as Le Corbusier saw it, was to cut down on commutes, build local communities, make life more manageable.
Interesting. Does it actually work like that? Did the podcast suggest it feels less overwhelming?
Yeah, they seem to think it contributes to that feeling. It shapes how people interact, maybe in ways we don't always think about in cities that just grew organically.
And the planning didn't stop there, right? What about the roads?
No, the roads are part of it too. City Chronicles mentioned the V system, like V3 roads are for faster traffic.
Okay.
But then you have V7 roads. Those are specifically for pedestrians, cyclists.
So separating the different types of movement, that sounds smart. For efficiency and, well, safety too, I imagine.
Precisely. It wasn't an accident. It was a very deliberate attempt to make things flow better, reduce conflict between cars and people, just a more harmonious environment.
Now, we have to talk about Le Corbusier himself. His actual buildings. The podcast mentioned the Capitol complex.
Yes, absolutely central. That's where you find the High Court, the Secretariat, the Legislative Assembly, big, important civic buildings.
And they look imposing. Very modernist.
You mentioned form-following function when we chatted earlier. Can you break that down simply for us? How does it show up there?
Sure. So form follows function just means the building design is driven by what it's for. In the Capitol complex, think about the scale, the sort of blocky geometric shapes.
Yeah.
That wasn't just random style. It was meant to convey the power, the seriousness of government. And using things like raw concrete, clean lines that speaks to, well, durability, efficiency. Practical choices, too.
Got it. Okay. And within that complex, there's also the Open Hand Monument. That's quite famous, isn't it?
Very. Instantly recognizable. City Chronicles mention people